Alright everyone, welcome to the first profile on the channel of a Riftbound deck profile. So today we're going over Jinx with Mr. Tortuga. Take it away.
Wow. Oh, we run 4 Chaos.
Yep, 4 Chaos. Okay, why?
So honestly, I think Chaos at 4 is probably the best option in this build at least, because there's only 3 cards in this deck that recycle purple besides Nocturne himself if you hard play him. But you know, the goal is to never play hard play Nocturne. We hope for the best. Then we run 8 red because the other color. That's how it works.
That makes sense. Were you just seeing too much purple?
Yeah, there's a couple too many games where I just had like 4 purples in my first 2 turns, and I was like, that's just way too much considering the fact that there's a lot of red recycle. That's why for gears we run 3 red seals and 2 sun disc.
Sure.
They get us to where we need to be. It's just about great. If you see a red seal on turn 1, you're pretty much leading aggro hella fast.
And what do you have to say to the players who think seals are bad?
Well, you're wrong, but that's okay. Everyone's normally wrong at least once in their life.
All right.
Next, for spells, we literally only run 3. I run the 1 of Death Rocket, and of course 2 Falling Star. You may know it, you've probably seen it. You probably had a Kaisa play 3 against you in 1 game, but yeah. Falling Star is indeed a good card.
So why are we playing 2 instead of 3 then, if it's a good card?
The Recycle 2 is a little bit hefty for us, especially if you don't see seals.
Sure.
So that's kind of rough, not to mention that I run the Rocket instead of a 3rd Falling Star because of recyclable.
Okay.
You just get to add it back whenever you conquer a location by discarding a card, which helps with other cards around the deck anyways.
All right. Moving on to units.
Up next, we'll start with 3 Flame Chompers. Goated card, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't playing these. Why?
Well, you see, I can't tell you because they're also just wrong. Your champion literally discards 2 if you really need it. Like, when you say you don't see a discard outlet in Jinx, I'm pretty sure you're just wrong, because you can always play your champion if you need to for the discard. I think it's perfectly fine if you're going for an aggressive route. But I think a lot of Jinx players do Spell Slinger route, which I don't agree with personally.
Sure. You also have your field spell at discard, or field spell.
True, location.
Location
It's
at
on
discard.
wastes. It's on wastes.
Right.
Is discard 1, draw 1, yeah. And then you recycle 1 red to play this back. So it's a great card. Nocturnes. I said this earlier. Great card. I also run the Candlelit Sanctum just for it too. Also fantastic for it. It says, for those fellow Magic players out there, it says scry 2, but you have to bottom deck 1 at least.
Yeah, that is a ruling that we have learned recently, is that it is mandatory to put at least 1 back with Candlelit Sanctum.
Other than that, we run next into Noxus Hopeful. One thing you'll notice with this list for sure is the fact that there is no single card above the cost of 4 in this entire deck. Not a single one, unless you count hard playing Nocturne. Even then, everything else is pretty much a 3 cost, if not 2. Because this is pretty much free. This is essentially a 2 cost card because it has Legion -2 essentially to its cost. It's a great card.
Legion is combo from Hearthstone.
Pretty much, yeah. You just have to play a card before it at the very minimum. Next, I only run 2 of Chemtech Enforcer. It is a really strong card for early game pressure. It has the discard effect for your Flame Chompers when you need it, and also Attacker too, so just conquering locations is pretty easy with that. But I always play Jinx going first. You just want to take the aggressive route, say push, push, push. And of course, probably the best card in the deck with how much you discard, Vi.
Sure.
Oh my god. Vi just closes out games sometimes if they don't have back row removal. You just say, hey, need that 8th point, need to conquer both. 16 power Vi sounds kind of nice right now. The GOAT, Traveling Merchant. You know him, you love him. He's great. He literally just says pretty much draw 1, because the whole point of the deck is just get cards out of your hand fast, draw more, and keep playing cards so they can't deal with everything.
Sure.
Traveling Merchant says when I move, discard 1, then draw 1, but if you have no cards in hand, you just draw 1. And to those of you who are not aware, Jinx's beginning phase ability says, hey, if you have at least 1 card in your hand or less, you get to draw 1 during your beginning phase, proceed to channel 2 runes, and then draw for turn. Next, for the last champion or last characters I have in the deck, 3 copies of Teemo.
Sure. What does this one do?
It's the hidden card, so you can hide him at a location instead of hard playing him. The turn he's played, he comes out with 3 extra power, 3 might. And the main reason I like to play, I also play Fight or Flight alongside with this card actually. I play 2 in the main. It's the fact that hidden is a busted mechanic as it is right now.
That's very true, especially because seals can pay for hidden cards.
And so the fact of hidden cards is great in the sense that you just take that early aggro pressure. Like I said, you take a location, you play another card, you hide cards, and then next thing you know, you're down to 1 card, so you can draw 2 again off Jinx on your next turn anyways. It helps get down your hand size perfectly to help assert pressure while drawing extra cards.
Sure.
That also covers Fight or Flight, I guess. But we're into the rest of our unique spells, like Stack Deck. If you're, I personally say if you're playing purple and you're not playing Stack Deck, you're probably wrong. This card literally just says, wow.
Pot of prosperity for you Yu-Gi-Oh players out there.
Pretty much. You literally just excavate, well, not even excavate, you just look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand. And this is where Nocturne comes into play, because if Nocturne's revealed, it's not even revealed. If you see the Nocturne in the top 3 you're looking at, you can add a different card, bottom deck a rune, and then play the Nocturne still, and get that other card. It's great. It's just so much tempo on top of the like a Nocturne in general.
So a little bit different than Vision, where your opponent gets to see too.
True. Vision is a mechanic for those 3 Karma players out there. Other than that, I run the one of acceptable losses.
Sure.
It's literally just a Yi tech.
Oh, right. Just play the 1 in the main,
Yep.
just in case.
I think you should be able to see it just fine if you're drawing that many cards in the first place. The goal is we're drawing like 2 cards essentially every turn and pitching cards. And if you're against E, you realistically just hold this, kill their Dazzling Aurora, make them cope for at least 1 more turn. And then we have 2 Gust.
2 Gus, okay.
Gust is a reaction plan. Yeah, it's just a reaction essentially. It returns a unit at a battlefield with 3 might or less to the opponent or to the player's hand. Can be yours, can be your opponent's. Great card in that aspect. It's mainly for control, but it's also, I use it for early aggro pressure to keep holding points.
Sure.
And then we just establish point dominance from there. Then I run 2 Ride the Wind and 1 Rebuke.
What does Rebuke do?
So I was originally on 3 Ride the Wind, but then I switched it out for 2 Ride the Wind and then 1 Rebuke. Rebuke literally just returns a unit at a battlefield to the owner's hand. It has Recycle 2. These are one of the few recycle cards for purple in the deck that I said. Crazy. We only run 3. That's why I run the 4 purple seals, or purple runes. My bad. Rebuke helps deal with like dead maw predators, 9-tailed watcher, is that what it's called? The blue fox.
Yeah.
Card's annoying. It really destroys my board a lot of the time, so you have to play around those pretty well, but Rebuke just deals with that for the most part. Other than that, Ride the Wind is also a fantastic card. Helps protect most of the time your Jinx if you need to bring it back and then use it as attacker next turn. It literally just says move a friendly unit and ready it.
Sure.
Otherwise, if you need extra tempo too, what I sometimes do is if it's the last card in my hand, I end up playing it on my opponent's turn during a showdown and then end up moving our Traveling Merchant around because they start a showdown. He moves back to base and readies himself, and then I get to draw a card because he moved too.
Sure.
But that's essentially it for the main core deck.
All right, and then Jinx, the leader.
Oh yeah, like I said. So at the start of your beginning phase, if you have 1 or less cards in your hand, you get to draw 1. And then you proceed through the rest of phases, which is channel and then draw. So you're essentially drawing 2 cards per turn as long as you have 1 or less cards in hand.
Sure.
As for the Jinx character, it is a 3 cost with 1 red recycle and then has Accelerate too. For those who don't know what Accelerate is, it's normally pay 1 more and then recycle 1 at the cost it says. Other than that, it has Attacker 2 on it, or Salt 2, my bad. So when you attack with it, it gains 2 might as well. So she's essentially a 3/6 with Rush, Haste, whatever you want to call it. Whatever card game you're from.
Haste, Rush, same difference. One piece versus Magic.
True. Hearthstone.
Alrighty, any other thoughts, comments, little interactions that you realized throughout playing?
I I would say that if you don't play seals, you're bad. Get good at the game,
Okay.
and you will lose to this Jinx deck if you do not exert enough pressure. Because the one thing we didn't talk about too was locations.
Sure, yeah, let's go over those.
You probably saw Candlelit Sanctum. We talked about Zon Waste, but the other one you play is the Arena's Greatest.
Just to
You
make
just-
games quicker.
Yep, you just go first. Start of each player's beginning phase. That player gains 1 point.
First
The
beginning
first
phase.
beginning phase, yes.
First beginning phase, not
That is
every
true.
beginning phase.
That is true. However, this is, I feel like, the main win con against E for at least one whole game for sure.
Right.
You just start rushing the board and get to them before they can play Auroras, before they can play Dead Maws.
For sure.
That's essentially it.
All right. Well, good deck profile. We'll see you guys next with Victor or maybe Set. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.